GCSAA TV celebrates equipment you can't live without. The Ryan Sod Cutter.
This was a really tough winter for a lot of guys in the southeast. North Carolina, I know South Carolina got hit really bad. So unfortunately, we've had to replace a lot of sods. I know a lot of local courses. And just having a piece of equipment to take a load off of, our bags is great. I mean, and being able to get the precision, depth of cut, get it in, get it out. I mean, it's really made the process a lot easier.
Our Ryan Sod Cutter's been around for 17 years. We purchased that when we started this golf course. Quite honestly, we don't put it to a lot of use as of right now, but during the early years of this golf course, with patching in and during the grow in, nothing was going all the time. So it's never really given us any issues.
Well, I don't know that I would be familiar or recognize a sod cutter if it wasn't a Ryan Sod Cutter.
We have a Ryan Sod Cutter out here, and it is one of the machines I get more questions about. Anytime I bring it out, people are always asking, what does that do? What is that for? But pretty valuable tool. We use it for all kinds of different things, versatile. Saves a lot of backs, that's for sure. But it definitely gives you a pretty good shake of the forearms too. But it's a great piece of equipment. We couldn't do without it.
And we take them for granted so much, but it's a critical piece of equipment. I don't really have any funny stories about them, but they're ubiquitous, and we could definitely not do half of our projects without having a Ryan Sod Cutter being hauled behind one of our utility vehicles.
We've had that probably 23 years. It was our second one. We had one before that was here when I came that was not in good repair, but that one just keeps on trucking.
I've used them quite often. They're a great sod cutter. I don't even know if there's another company that makes sod cutters, but because they're the best.
The Ryan Sod Cutter was great because, especially back when I first came on board here, the first go around with this golf course, a lot of changes because there was a lot of things they didn't like. I mean, we redid 8 or 9 greens. I don't know how many fairways, how many bunkers we closed in, so that was our friend. I mean, we'd sod cut, especially the greens, we'd had to be careful and do it nicely. Sod cut, put her off to the side, reconstruct, and put that same sod back so it would match the rest of the golf course.
In the summer, we use it quite a bit because we'll have to go out and repair areas on the sides of the tees where the traffic has been real bad, and we don't think that the turf's going to repair itself. So we use it quite a bit during the summer.
I've probably had a Ryan Sod Cutter at every golf course I've worked at in my career, and if I was looking to buy another sod cutter right now, it'd probably be the next one I'd purchase.
We removed about 35 acres of Bermuda grass rough out here with Ryan Sod Cutters. The only areas that we could use the small or the large, like sod harvester from the sod farm, were the big flat areas. But around bunkers and in between holes and tight areas, we had to run the sod cutter. And there was a lot of guys that were on a sod cutter for 10 hours a day, just harvesting sod out of the rough. So
I know when I was younger, I lifted a Ryan Sod Cutter off the back of a pickup truck by myself, which I wouldn't even attempt today. But that's the only sod cutter I've ever used. Anytime I've gone to a golf course and they haven't had a sod cutter or they've had something different, I've always purchased the Ryan Junior Sod Cutter. It's a great machine. We have 4 of them now.
I mean, I've never used anything but a Ryan Sod Cutter in the 30 years I've been in the industry, and have always been happy with them. They work like a charm, and couldn't do their job without them. And I did learn a few years back that when we regrassed and we were looking at POA control, that despite all the wonderful products that are on the market that we can use to control POA and need when we're covering acreages, if it's a small area, the very best product on the market for POA control, I believe, is a Ryan Sod Cutter, because it both gets rid of the plants that are there 100% and also gets rid of the seed, which is mostly all left in the top ½ inch of the soil. So a good sod cutting in an area certainly is probably the best POA control product I've ever seen.